Hey guys, Coach Dylan here again from the Lambright for Cardio Crushers. We're going to break up the workout today. We're going to do some sprints after a warm-up, and then we're going to slow it down a little bit, and we're going to do some slower lifting, because if you're lifting at home and you don't have heavier weights, one of the ways you can get a little more oomph out of it is by slowing down, and that'll get you some of that heavier stimulus and some of that muscle growth we're looking for, and then we'll finish you off with some sprints on the tail end with another set of Tabatas. Here we go. So today we're going to start off with a warm-up. We're going to start with 10 bodyweight squats, 10 easy push-ups, and 10 walk-in lunges that are nice and shallow. So the point of our warm-up is to get our body moving and grooving, make sure the ranges of motion are good, we don't have any lingering after effects from the last workout that are going to result in injury, and we want to get warmed up so we don't get hurt today. So for bodyweight squats, nice and easy, we want to keep that core tight right here, glutes are engaged. Our feet are nice and flat on the ground, getting a little bit of that external rotation in. So we got the torque, so our hips and our knees and our ankles are stable. And then just nice and smooth down and back up. Just nice and smooth. Keeping your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Keeping your knees lined up over your feet, lined up with your toes. And we want to keep those knees behind your toes, right? We want to be here. We don't want to be getting up here on it. Nice and smooth back, and your shins are parallel. Nice and smooth, 10 reps. Then we're going to move right into our push-ups, and whether you normally do level 1, level 2, level 3 push-ups or wall push-ups, we want to downgrade it by one step so that it's not a ton of oomph that we're looking for. We're trying to get the shoulder girdle warm, we're not trying to work it out yet. So if you normally do a level 3 push-up, normal push-ups, right here, I'm going to tell you, drop your knees, we're going to do a level 2 push-up, and we're going to do just kind of them nice and smooth, same mechanics. Getting the shoulders going, getting stuff limbered up. If you normally do a level 2, you can do level 1 push-ups right here. And if you normally do level 1 push-ups, we can get you up on the wall or on a bench right here. Just down and up, nice and smooth. Not in a big rush, just nice and smooth, getting that shoulder girdle firing. And the last thing in the set is we're going to do a set of walking lunges, and we're going to keep them shallow. We're not going to go all the way down to the floor. We're going to take it easy, and the point really is just get those hips limbered up so we have full range of motion. And to work on our balance, which is why we're doing them walking instead of doing them in place. And so, just like a normal lunge, we want to keep our hips and our knees square, coming up and down, like so, right? But we're going to be traveling forward, and so from the side, it'll look like this. We're going to bring that knee all the way up. We're going to extend the leg out in front of us, and then we're going to lower ourselves onto it, and then down. Just deep enough to get a little bit of stretch here on the front of our hip, keeping the shoulder over the hip, and then we're going to squeeze up through the heel, bring that other leg all the way over our knee, that foot over our knee. We want that cycle action all the way up, and then lower ourselves down for the next one, nice and smooth. Notice I'm lowering myself down. I'm not putting my foot out and falling onto it, right? You can do this in your hallway, or you can do it outside, either one, it's fine. But we want 3 rounds, 10 squats, 10 push-ups, 10 walking lunges. Once we got our warm-up done, we're going to move into our first sprint section. We're going to go 4 sets of 30 seconds easy, and then a full minute of push. Push means 85 to 90% of maximal heart rate. We want to get that heart rate up. We want to get the blood flowing, and we're going to operate right below that threshold to where we're going to go anaerobic. And the reason why is we're going to be working on your metabolism, making you better at burning fat as a fuel, and making it so we're really developing that aerobic engine so we can get more work done during a workout. So that's 4 sets of 30 seconds, nice and easy, and then 60 seconds, a full minute, moving at that 85 to 90%. So it's only 4 minutes of work, right? How bad can it be? After that, we're going to move right into 3 sets of 30 seconds easy and then 30 seconds hard. So that hard bit, we want to push hard as you can. And then we'll get 30 seconds rest and then 30 seconds hard. And so this is going to continue to elevate our heart rate as we get into the workout So that by the time we get to our lifting and we're slowing down, that heart rate's elevated and we're really pumping and we're really working. You can do this at running, you can do it on a bike, you can do it on an elliptical. It does not matter. The best form of cardio is the one you're going to do. So if you have a knee issue, make use of a bike or an elliptical. If you want to use a treadmill so you can gauge the speed better, go right ahead. Once we're done with the sprint work, our heart rate's up, our legs are tired, our blood's pumping. Grab a swig of water, get that heart rate down a little bit after that last hard bit, and then we're going to move right on into our lifting section. So today we're going to slow that lifting down, and everything we're going to do is going to be a 3 to 5 count on the way up and a 3 to 5 count on the way down. And by slowing it down, we're giving our body time to engage all the muscle fibers, not just the ones that are easy to recruit. And so we can get a similar stimulus to lifting heavy even if we're at home, and the heaviest thing we got are our 8-pound water jugs. The first lift is we're going to do some single leg deadlifts. And this is why we were doing those walking lunges in our warm-up, because we want to start working on that balance and getting our balance working right so we don't fall over doing our deadlifts. The nice part about single leg deadlifts is it's harder to hurt your back because you're more likely to be using the correct muscles instead of your lower. You're more likely to be using your glutes and your hamstrings to do the lifting instead of your lower back if you do it single legged. So for a single leg deadlift, we want to start in the same position, just like you're doing a normal deadlift. If you're at the gym and you got a bar, you can do this. Although I'd really recommend using a kettlebell for this instead of a bar, just because it'll help with the balance. But if you're at home, you can grab your water jugs, and we're going to stand straight up. Keep that core tight. We want to pull that belly button up and in. We want to really lock it down. We want to grip the ground with our whole foot, not just be balanced on our heels. And then we're going to pick one leg up behind us, and we want to keep a straight line from that back heel all the way through our leg and our hip and our shoulder and the top of our head. So we don't want to be looking up. We don't want to be rounding our back, because if you notice, if my head tips back, my lower back arches. If my chin tips forward, my back arches the other way. Both of those are unsafe for your back. We want to be in a good neutral position. So you can pick a spot that's kind of, where the floor meets the wall, so to speak. Something to look at. And then keeping that back leg engaged, we're just going to lower it down and then squeeze it back up through the glutes and the hamstrings. And notice you may have a tendency to feel like you're sideways. Like when you're coming down, you're squeezing sideways, and that's pretty normal. That's okay, but we want to try to keep it flat. So when we're bobbing up and down, we want to be here, be perfectly flat, and then squeeze it up. If you are using a heavy kettlebell to do this, one thing you can do to help keep that core flat instead of rolling up on one side is hold your kettlebell with one arm, the opposite arm of the leg you're lifting with, and hold the other arm out for balance. And then you can come down and up, and that'll be more likely to help keep those hips and your shoulders square so you're not cranking your back. 3 to 5 seconds down, so you can count it out loud. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, full stop, and then squeeze it up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we're going for 45 seconds. That's going to be our magic number for our lifting. So if it's going to take us 3 to 5 seconds down, 3 to 5 seconds up, we're talking somewhere between 7 and 10 seconds per rep. You're only going to get somewhere between 4 to 8 reps. Because as you get tired, you start counting faster, right? Don't bounce at the bottom, especially on your deadlifts. It's really dangerous. Josh, I'm looking at you when we get to these squats with that stretch reflex. So after you do a set of deadlifts, 45 seconds on one leg, 45 seconds on the other, and you can set yourself a timer on your phone, or you just count 5 to 10 reps on each side. It's up to you. You can grab yourself a chair for your dips, and you want to make sure your hands are right over the legs, fingers pointed forward. If you're at the gym, you can do this on a bench. And then keeping that core upright. We don't want hips up. We want our core upright. We're just going to lower ourselves down and lower it up. Notice my elbows are staying in line with my shoulders. They're not flying out. They're staying right behind me the whole time. Same deal. We're going to 3 to 5 count on the way down, 3 to 5 count on the way up. So it's nice and slow on the way down, full stop, and then nice and slow on the way up. That way we have time to engage all of those muscle fibers and really work those triceps. What you don't want to do when you're doing these is you don't want to get so low that you're using your front of your shoulder, right? You notice your chest starts coming forward, you're going too low. You've hit the end of range of motion in your shoulder. Stop, reset, and you're only coming as low as your shoulder can go. The third exercise in our lifting sequence, again, going slow, 3 to 5 seconds down, 3 to 5 seconds up, are going to be goblet squats. These are a lot easier to do with a kettlebell if you have it, but your water jug will work just fine, or even just body weight. It just means you got to slow down a little bit. But what we're looking for is we want to hold that weight right at our chest. So we're going to be right here with it, kind of over our center of gravity. And we're going to spread our feet out just a little bit more than we normally would. And our toes are going to be pointed out just a tad, right? And we're going to go nice and slow down. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we want to get those elbows to our knees. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice and smooth. Make sure you're not locking your knees out when you get to the top. Keep them just a little soft, that way you don't black out. Nice and smooth, 45 seconds. Coming down, nice and slow. Tap the elbows to the knees and then squeeze it up. Keeping that core tight. We're squeezing hard, pulling that belly button up and in. Our glutes are engaged, keeping our hips stable. And you notice we're coming down nice and smooth. Core's tight. Keeping that back nice and flat. We don't want to round the back forward to get our elbows down. If this is the range of motion you have, you can only get to here, that's fine. Get to there, and then squeeze it up nice and slow. Slow is the name of the game. And the last lift in our set is we're going to do some bent over rows. So now that our hips are good and warmed up, we can use that mobility and the fact that our glutes are firing to hold us up while we're doing a row. So we can get some more glute and core work out of it at the same time. So we want to be nice and flat, back's flat. I don't want to see anybody here, right? So we want to make sure we're stretching that head out, pulling that belly button up and in, and we're using the abs to stabilize our back. And we want to sink that weight down into our hips. And if you're bendy and you're flexible and got good range of motion, you can almost lay down on your legs, right? But we're going to be right here, core's tight. We're just going to squeeze it up. Again, 3 to 5 seconds up, full stop, 3 to 5 seconds down. Whatever you do, don't look up like this. You notice I do that, my back starts arching, right? We want it flat. I want the head in a neutral position, kind of looking right here. I'm just going to squeeze it up, stop, squeeze it down, nice and slow. Again, 45 seconds, or somewhere between 5 and 10 reps, nice and slow. So we're going to go through that circuit of the deadlifts, the dips, the goblet squats, and the rows, somewhere between 3 and 6 times, depending on who you are and how much time you have. But if you do that and you go slow enough, you will get a good workout. It's going to work your muscles harder than you think. I've had some really beefy dudes be really surprised when I make them slow down, even just doing bodyweight stuff, moving nice and slow, how hard it really is. But we're working the same physiological engine that we're really stressing for all of our cardio crusher workouts, which is to get that heart rate up and keep it up without going anaerobic. Once we get those 3 to 6 sets in of the lifting, we are going to speed it up. We're going to go back, and we're going to finish off with 1 set of Tabata sprints. And again, I don't care how you do this. You can do squats or squat jumps. You can be on the spin bike. You can be on the elliptical. You can run. It does not matter. All that matters is you are working as hard as you can for 20 seconds, moving quickly. Not just pushing, but moving quickly. We want to really be firing on all cylinders. And we're going to go 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, for somewhere probably between 5 and 8 sets to where we get the noodle legs. Once you get the noodle legs and you're not coordinated anymore, stop. Because if you have bad mechanics, you're going to get hurt. So that's the workout for today. It's a little slower than what we normally do on the lifting side, but that's okay. It's still going to work the same physiological engine we're looking for, and I promise you it's going to be a great workout. So until next time, train smart.